most interesting of them all, because there is something we did on radio about Environmental Day. Now, I'll start. World Environmental Day. Imo State Government commissions waste recycling training centers. The Imo State Government has commissioned a waste recycling and training center which will provide hands-on skills to youths on how to convert plastic, cans, and paper into useful products. While commissioning the Skill Center during the celebration of 2025 World Environmental Day in Owerri with the theme Ending Plastic Pollution in Nigeria, the Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation explained that it will provide job opportunities for the youth and clean environment for the state. Now, I remember when we did this on radio, we're talking about how people pollute the environment with various plastics and kinds, and I think it's a very bad thing to do. I would say it's bad really, because the environment is everything we have. If we don't take care of it, it will reject us. So it's something we should pay attention to. So more like when you have waste or anything kind, plastic cans especially, do well to recycle it and make sure that it doesn't litter the environment. So that's what that news is all about. So, Ify, please, what would you like to say on this? What was your contribution?
Yeah, so it's interesting that we're still talking about environment, because on Thursday last week it was World Environment Day, and I remember I went on radio and I told people to stop trashing their whatever waste indiscriminately. They should dispose it properly. And people called in to say, one person called me and said he's an Okada rider, he has baskets in his Okada, but the challenge he's having is that he doesn't know where to dispose the one that people generated in his keke. But that is about that. But now, when you look at our environment, I'm glad that's happening in Imo State. And I know that something like that is also happening in Delta State, because the Waste Management Boss was my guest last Wednesday. I mean, the director there, the boss sent the director to, represent him. And he told me that they are doing a lot in terms of waste collection in Delta State, in terms of making sure that our environment are clean. And I know, well, with every sense of, I don't know how to put it, but I know they are trying their best. But the question now is, as individuals, as a citizen, how are you disposing your waste? A colleague of ours told us a story this morning that they saw, you carry your waste and you give it to the person, you say iron condemn, so somebody with cats or truck, and then you say, oh, that's the best place or the best person to give your waste to. Without knowing, they told us yesterday, that Wednesday, that where they dispose, the approved dump site is in Ibuzo, not even in Asaba here, right? And then you give it to the person that is pushing a cat pusher or truck pusher to dispose your waste. How do you expect that person to travel from here to Ibuzo to go and dispose that waste properly? They cannot. So what do? They look for a drainage that is almost filled, because everybody is now doing what they know how best to do. And when they catch them now, they'll start crying wolf. Government, why will I pay this one, that one? But do the right thing. Say, this is DBS road. Yes. This is DBS road. Yes. And the people doing this, they are not spirits. They are human beings like you and I. And if they are doing this, in fact, it's like this on every road in Asaba. If they don't dump the air, you can come to your office and you see a sack filled with all manners inside. Look at them carrying their trucks. And there's a ban on iron condemn, on all these people scavengers. There's a ban. And yet, because people like those people, it's not me, because I no longer patronize them. I used to be guilty, but I'm no longer guilty, because I need to support this government to work. If they keep dumping their refuse or debris on our drainage system, you see that we experience flooding. When it rains now, you see people, you know, they will do video and post it, record and post it on social media. It will not help us. Charity, they say, begins from home. I like to drop my own here.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one, Ify and Ugo, because last week Thursday, like you did say, it was the World Environmental Day, and I was privileged to observe the day in the sense that the Ministry of Environment had a roadshow, and after the roadshow, they also had a small talk, and I spoke specifically to the public relations officer of the unit. Now, why don't you invite the Honorable Commissioner, Ejiro Jamani, who seems to be very insensitive? You know, they are not bothered. All they're just concerned with is what comes out. You know, come and speak to the people. Come and talk to the people on the need for us to keep our environment clean. But as I speak to you, ordinarily the Honorable Commissioner should have been here on this morning's bell. You understand? But because the World Environmental Day is not falling on a day like this, it's not here. The PRO gave me her words that she will do all she can. But guess what? As Nigerians, being what we are, they are not here this morning to actually come and speak to the components. Look at what is happening in Imo State. You understand?
Right.
The governor, Uzodima, took it upon himself to do what he is doing. You understand? And you know, so we expect that should naturally cascade down to our state like Delta State. And make sure that our environments are clean. As I speak with you, do you know that 3 different units celebrated the World Environmental Day differently in Delta State? Which is not supposed to.
Which is not supposed to.
They are supposed to come together under one unit. You understand? The PSP did their own World Environmental Day. The ministry did their own World Environmental Day. The Waste Management Board did their own World Environmental Day differently in Asaba. Differently.
Well, I don't even care if they choose to do it separately. What I want to see is results. Let's do it. And like I said, I think that it starts with us. Really, to be honest, it starts with us. If you dispose your waste properly, and I do same, and Uzochi does that, we will not see anybody nobody will patronize the cart pushes.
When you drive around, Asaba, you begin to see on the
kegs,
on the media,
yeah,
you know, waste that are dropped. And you see, it's unfortunate that we are in a situation where nobody has all that it takes to put a stoppage to all of this. And funny enough, let me shock you. You can have what you call waste to wealth.
right.
You know, at one of the programs, I was telling somebody, I said, look, as a master ceremony, if I go to an event and I decide that, okay, at this event I want to think outside the box, I can begin to collect empty bottles of water, cider, and sell somewhere else. And make money for myself.
True.
Do you understand?
True.
And that is another format of making some money. You know, you go to an event and you just collect all the empty bottles of.
They do pick them.
They do pick them, but a lot of people, do they know that is another way you can cause that waste now to wealth. So advocacy, enlightenment, you know, and educating the public is very, very important in all of this put together.
True.
Okay, that's it for waste management. So I just hope that our Nigerians, our fellow Nigerians, will pay heed to these words we've spoken today. I just hope that you all will learn to dispose our waste properly to create a cleaner and more healthy Nigeria. And moving on to the next trend today, a man who said he's a polytechnic graduate has been seen in the streets hustling a wheelbarrow hustling as a wheelbarrow pusher. Now, the man said he graduated from Federal Polytechnic, Nekede, Imo State, and has proceeded to work as a banker. However, things took a negative turn when he was retrenched by the bank and took to the streets to push wheelbarrows. I think this is not just only this man's situation. It's like that for many other people in Nigeria. It's more like after school, there's nothing else to do than to push wheelbarrow, and some of them enter the market to become things that are not even supposed to be there. So I just feel like this man, his situation right now is very pathetic, and as a result of that, he just has to feed for his family. He has to feed his family and just look for something to do. But it's not even nice because since he finished from school, according to him, he was like, he went to, as he finished his HND program, he went to the bank, probably for IT or something. So I think he was working there. As a result, he was like, okay, he's waiting for his appointment letter as a man that is working for a bank. Yes, he's waiting for his appointment letter, only for the bank to disappoint him. I don't know what happened. He just had to go back to the streets. So I want to hear your opinion on this, Chris.
Well,
Yeah.
is it me first? Sorry. Okay. So there's dignity in labor, if you ask me. This particular trend started, I don't know when it started, but I saw it yesterday, and I saw everybody pushing wheelbarrow. They're using AI to create people, graduates pushing wheelbarrow, and I'm saying, what's going on here? Until I saw that video, and I saw another write-up of somebody who said he graduated. He wasn't the only person, actually. Many other persons came up to say they graduated and they pushed wheelbarrow. There's nothing wrong with you starting small to make it in life. But I have I do not see. Yes, there is dignity in labor, but I do not support that a graduate should be pushing wheelbarrow. So you did not see IT this thing to learn. You did not see any other thing to do. It's wheelbarrow. No. Let's call it a spade a spade. You are a graduate, for crying out loud. Before you graduated, that's why they say you go to school and you allow school to go through you. So those 4 years, did it say that all the things they taught you, you didn't pick anything that you create something out of to make a living? No, it must be wheelbarrow. Maybe that's your calling. That's what you choose to do. That's me. I'm not, like I said, starting small. Yes, many people started small. Obi Kubana started small. Dangote started small. Oyedepo started small. But they did not start as wheelbarrow pushers. So you must not start as a wheelbarrow pusher, as a graduate, for you to make a living. For me, it's a no.
Well, for you it's a no, but just like what the Bible says, that we should not despise
the days of little
beginning. Do you understand? Because whatever your mind tells you to do it with joy.
Okay.
Do you understand? Wheelbarrow pushing is not the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end.
Anyway, I don't know how you're quoting this.
Because why did I say that? You could have a conglomerate. You could have more than one wheelbarrow. As good as having 10.
That's where the graduate sense comes now.
You employ boys. It's just like having a grinding machine.
Yes.
You see this grinding machine? Wheelbarrow pushing is like having a grinding machine in a market. Because that is where your business thrives.
That is it.
In the market. Madam, any load. Oh, can I grind for you? They are synonymous. Both businesses are synonymous.
That's where your graduate sense should come.
His graduate sense should tell me that, okay, why don't I After working in a bank, I would have expected that I should have some savings. So even if at the end of the day the bank does not retain, and I'm going into that wheelbarrow business, I should also have at least 2 or 3 to start with, and employ people and tell them, for every load you carry, you have X, Y, Z. You understand?
That's
it's just
it.
that we're just like doing the business of our people.
What's
I
that?
don't know if you understand our people.
What's
our
a people?
is.
No. Tell me.
Carry, okay, I don't know the word to use now, but waste, human waste, for example.
Okay. I hope it's not this one we talked about.
No, human waste, human waste.
Oh!
Human waste. Then
I get it.
You go to carry from.
They no longer carry. They no longer carry.
It's a sewage deal. It's a sewage business. Now. They say, oh, not the smell. That is money of shit, not the smell.
Money na money.
Money na
Money.
So if you do wheelbarrow business, it does not demean you.
You are deviating again from what you've aligned these thoughts. That yes, you can have conglomerate. What did you say that? Conglomerate. You can have wheelbarrows, and then you fix boys to deliver for you. Because you cannot be a graduate and not be creative.
I mean,
no, it's not. It is not okay.
Yeah,
by me, you can't say you are a graduate and you're still pushing. No, those are left for unskilled people.
Yeah.
People who didn't go through the 4 walls of the university. You can't graduate and you tell me you're not creative. You want to push me back. Maybe that's your calling, and embrace it and stop lamenting.
If it's a calling, then be multitasking about it. Open up windows. Say, okay, X, Y, Z investment. Let me have 12. And have 12 people that should work for me. And should, on a daily basis, remit X, Y, Z amount.
That's it. That's it. All right.
Okay, so moving on to the next trending now. Paul Adefarasin allegedly brandishes pistol at car spotter filming his Range Rover. The senior pastor of House on the Rock and convener of the Experience Worship, Paul Adefarasin, appears to have pulled a pistol at a car spotter filming his exotic car. In a viral video, the car spotter said was shocked, and it turned out that Mr. Adefarasin was the one in the Range Rover. So many people online were like, that is not actually a pistol, it's not a gun. Some said it's more like a taser. But whatever it was, it's not even supposed to be there in the first place. Like, what image are you trying to portray to your audience? Whether a taser or not, why was that pistol there in the first place? I know the way the Nigerian situation is, nowhere is safe actually. So everyone is, but both people that are licensed to have one or not, one pistol or the other, they always have it with them. But it's not even advisable, especially someone with such caliber. So they were now like, okay, why does he have such a pistol in his car? He was like, okay, that was not his intention. That it's not meant to be there. He never pointed no firearm at anybody. So I want to know why, and is it even supposed to be there in the first place?
Yeah, so he said that he didn't come to say what I had. He said, I did not point. I am not licensed, and I did not point a firearm to anybody content. Rachel, frankly, I didn't understand what he said. But he said he didn't point a firearm to anyone. But the guy said, it was pointed, Pastor Paul pointed a firearm, to him. So I don't know who is saying the truth or not. But from the video that we watched, we saw him with something. Yeah. And he didn't come out to deny that, oh no, that was AI generated. Because everybody is anything that they say is AI. He didn't come out to deny the fact that he didn't say it wasn't me. So I would have said, maybe they use AI to create his face. So he didn't deny that fact. So the question that many Nigerians are now asking is, what was that? And some persons say maybe it's a taser. So you go about with taser for what? I have security people, following you as well. So why do you need a taser? So that's the question. But I think that we all should be careful. We should put our character in check at all times. Do not let your character come out before you at all time. Because see, if you're a public figure, if you're a pastor, a celebrity, if it was just an ordinary person, nobody will talk about it. It will not go viral. But because it's a pastor, and then there's a way we look at pastor, and people are saying, if it was Jesus Christ, we point a taser or even a gun at somebody. I say, I never see Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ that was flogging people. Jesus Christ that was flogging people that were selling in church. You don't know Jesus Christ. But but I think that we should be calm on the way we judge people. People are passing through a lot, really.
Yeah.
People are passing through a lot. That he's a pastor doesn't make him God. We've not seen God display, but Jesus, I've read that he displayed. So, we are not God, so let's be calm in the way we judge people.
Okay, I'd like a submission, sincerely. Paul, somebody I know so well, because before Paul converted into no, you need to know the history of Paul and the Pharisees.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Paul and the Pharisee, I know so well as an Ikoyi boy. Do you understand? Because his father used to be a very top legal luminary many years ago. You understand? And Paul used to be able on the street.
Oh.
You understand?
He
Before he converted
to Christ.
Before God turned him into what he is today. Wow. And Pastor Paul, for me, is a fine gentleman.
He is. He's actually very cute.
Yes.
You understand?
Cute pastor.
And when I say this, I'm talking from authority. Because I used to live around this club in Ikoyi there many years ago. Paul is a gentleman before he converted into that. And you see what Paul did. Paul didn't carry. If Paul wants to carry a firearm, he is long overdue. By virtue of his upbringing.
Right.
You understand? If you look around him, he doesn't move around with bodyguards.
Okay.
He doesn't. You understand? So what you saw was just, it wasn't a gun.
But can we please have that on the screen again? Because it was looking like...
No, it wasn't a gun.
Oh, really?
Do you understand? You could have shockers that look like guns.
Look at his hand now.
Shockers.
And you're driving with that?
Yes. Shockers that look like guns. Shockers. You have what you call a shocker, what I can use to shock you if you come to harass me.
Right.
That looks like guns. If Paul wants to carry a gun, he will carry it.
And nothing will happen.
And nothing.
But was that display necessary?
No, probably that display was done. Somebody approached him.
Yeah.
And I told very dark man, the guy who cascaded it, that dark man, you talk too much. Dark man was the guy very dark man, the VDM guy,
right.
Was the guy who cascaded it. And when I was responding in my Facebook, social media, I said, Paul, what is it, VDM, you talk too much.
You were talking to another person. It's not on Facebook. Those
you talk, but I know he will feel it. You talk too much. It's not everything you see.
You
that come and make, because he is more of a traditionalist, and he tries to pick on pastors, and look so where news is not coming out from. That's an electric shocker.
Huh? But he would have just explained to us
Do
that
you
that was
understand?
it. He didn't say
and,
that.
and Pastor Paul Adefarasi came on air to speak to that component. That look, these are boys who just want to make things out of nothing,
Out of nothing.
make money out of nothing.
Yeah.
They approached him and they just say, hey boys, if you are a co-boy, do you meet all these things on the street?
But that was a
daily
car
basis?
spotter. They do that for content.
Exactly.
Do you understand? On a daily basis, you meet it. Okay, how did all of that cascade? How did all of that come in as a content? How did the person whoever shot that get that?
Because he's always standing there to spot cars, latest cars, and then he captures it, put it on social media to get views and make money.
Okay, beautiful. And you don't know who is who.
For
You
him
don't
to
know
even
if a content provider now. If you like, you are a content
creator.
I told you that you are a content creator.
Creator.
You can come as a content creator now,
I record you.
and I will not know that you are a content creator.
Right.
I will look at you as have you come to want to rob me? Then I will say, Lasso. And that can scare you off.
Right.
So it's one of these skirmishes. So I start to be corrected that Pastor Paul Adefarasi, he did not pull out the trigger. You understand? I start to be corrected. I start to be one of his goodies to say yes, Pastor Paul will not do that.
Okay.
If you are an Ikoyi boy, I hope you understand what I'm talking about.
I hope so.
Okay, moving on. Delta government approves rehabilitation / asphalt overlay of Olu Palace Road, Ubori, Ekurede, Ichekiri Road. Delta State Executive Council on Thursday, June 6, approved the rehabilitation overlay of Olu Palace Road, Ubori, Ekurede, Ichekiri Road, and the construction of Olubo roads in Warri South local government area. Fresh Angle International understands that the approval was part of a series of multi-billion naira road construction and rehabilitation projects aimed at improving infrastructure and boosting economic activities across the state. Now, I'm meant to understand that this project that is going on, that will happen, is meant to connect different urban and rural communities together. And I think it's a very good development because it will improve rural and urban communities to come together and also help in the educational sector as a matter of fact, yes. So I want to know what's your thought about this.
Oh, well, it's a good, it's a commendable gesture. Is it gesture? No, it's not gesture. I mean, it's what we are supposed to get. Yes. So it started. It's not even trending anymore because it was on the news since on the 6th of June. So we're not the first to talk about it. But we give kudos to the Delta State government for that massive project. Like you said, when it's done, it's going to improve the, welfare of that community because it will make people, in fact, it will improve their well-being because in terms of education, empowerment, because people will no longer be stranded. If you want to go from A point to B point, you'll be able to do that smoothly. So kudos to the Delta State government, and of course, congratulations to the citizens living around the Olu Palace Road, the Wori, the Kurede, and environs, especially the Ishekiri Road there, habitats. So
yeah, it's a good one actually, communal and urban, connectivity. Because all of this put together actually showcase us, by way of building bridges, because civilization, has to start from urban development. And once there's a connectivity between the urban and the rural, a lot of things work. Because with that road now, you see, there's a lot of connectivity. People can easily access towns. You can bring your produce from the rural area to the town. Do you understand? So I like to commend the Olu of Warri. He's a very young, vibrant guy who has, his A graded, for bringing all of this together by way of attracting government presence to his community. So a situation where the people can farm, but they can't bring their produce to town. It's of no value.
That's right.
But with this connectivity, it shows that yes, the governor is somebody that listens and he knows the value, of bringing the people close. It's like bridging the gap between communal and urban. Bringing civilization from the urban community to the communal community. So it's a good one for me, and I must commend the Olu of Warri. It's not the Olu of Shekiri now, but the Olu of Warri.
Yes.
Because it's not only Shekiri who like
No.
also because the
rules, yeah.
So I must commend him because such an intelligent young man, who's got talent, for bridging this gap, by bringing the communal community to the urban
Areas.
Yeah.
All right.
That's now moving on to the last, not the least, Straw the movie. A single mother navigates a series of unfortunate events, leading her down to unforeseen path where she became embroiled in a situation she never envisioned, finding herself at the center of suspicion in an indifferent world. Now, this movie is, how will I say, it's a very interesting movie. Okay, so it kind of portrays the strength of a woman, how women struggle in society. Personally, for me, it's a very emotional movie, and yes, she actually tried to make sure that nothing, no matter what it was, took her down. No matter what she was going through, it never brought her down. It never weighed her down. So I must commend the producers of this movie. It's a very nice and interesting movie. So have you? I don't know if you've seen the movie. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I have not watched that movie,
Yeah.
but you see, I think the resilience of the woman, for me, is worth it.
Yes, it is.
You understand? Because the strength of a woman, women are very, very strong. I must give it to the women, because where the man has one strength, the woman has seven. Ask if you
But most people don't tend to believe that.
because one, the woman takes care of the home, the woman takes care of the children, takes care of her husband, takes care of her in-laws, and
Takes care of ourselves,
takes care of herself.
which
so-
sometimes we forget.
And so to me, I really give it to the strength of a woman. Sincerely.
So
know.
I know that you didn't watch the movie, did you? So what are you talking about? You've not seen the movie. I haven't seen it, but I've watched the trailer
Okay.
of the movie. I tried to get download an app to watch it, but unfortunately I couldn't download because of an iPhone, and then it means that I'm going to download my Netflix that I deleted because they were debiting me every month and I wasn't watching. So, but because and people are saying if you don't want to cry, don't watch. Me, I think I want to wail. I think I'm at the point in my life that I want to really wail, and wake up, clean my eyes, and I'll be okay. So, according to the few trailers I've watched here and there, and the analysis I've listened to and I've watched online, of course, Taraji P. Henson is a good actor. I mean, she is a good actress. And in fact, for people like Inedo to be writing about her and give her thumbs up since the release of this movie, I know that it's going to be a good watch. In fact, you should sit, like a family, pop some corn, like I did yesterday, pop some corn and tell everybody to cross their legs and let's do it. It's a family movie, actually. And just like you said, the resilience that we pull as women, the strength of a woman cannot be undermined. Really, it cannot. That story was about a single lady who was doing everything she could or can to take care of her child, and she was in a society where people don't see her. They don't see her struggles. They don't see her pain. All they know how to do, she go to work, they are lambasting her because she's a black American, She's just looking at her. They are looking at her color. And she's not well dressed. And not looking inwards to see that this woman is going through a lot. People, I watched the few trailers I watched, like I said, and I'm beginning to say, okay, you know what? I should ask people, I mean it. How are you? Look at people and ask them, how are you? And wait for a response. Because we are quick to say, we always ask how are you, of course. it's like a cliche. How are you? And you're asking how are you here.
And you're going
and you're reaching the gate. So let's normalize asking people how they are and wait for response. Yes, I know that some people want to take advantage of it to say, fine, I've not eaten since morning. If you have the money, give. If you don't have, encourage, but really, if you have to share. There's nothing in this world. In her pain, even when people don't see her struggle, she was still giving to a crippled man in her street. Even her last minute say, I don't have, yeah, take, eat, And those things that she was doing spoke on her behalf on the day that she needed that help, So unfortunately, she lost the child, but then that wasn't the story. The story is about us trying to understand your fellow, your colleague, your neighbor, understand them, take care of them, ask them how they are, understand their feelings, see people struggle, see people for who they truly are. And if you can proffer a solution, do it. Do it already. That's about that. That's what my takeaway from that movie. Any other thing is Tyler Perry's way of, making people cry. But that's me. That's my, my own for the movie.
Okay, that's a beautiful one there.
Yeah, I think after this, I would love to see that movie. I'll have to. Okay, so that's it for...
I'll be ready to cry too. Except to have a... Obiapo.
No. I'm definitely going to cry. So, kudos to the producers of that movie. Now, I think that's it for trending now. If you have anything to say to back up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uzochi, for coming up with trending now. Some stories that some of us have seen, some haven't. I encourage you to watch Straw the movie today. And yes, that's it. So I think we'll leave it here. And let's do this again next week, Tuesday. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Monring continues. Stay with us.